What's going on, guys? Today we will be working on 97 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and today's project is going to be the fuel pump. Don't know anything about it. Pretty easy on these ones. They're right underneath the back seat. So underneath the back seats, you get two panels. Some of them are a little different. Sometimes the panels are actually over here, wherever the little cutout is. That's normally a different panel. But this is a 97 2.0 non-turbo GS. So what you got after you pull out your seats, this cover here, you're going to pull out 1, 2, 3, down here, 4, the fifth one over here for this bracket, just because then you have a little bit of room to work with. And we're going to pull it up. And you'll see down inside here, you got one right here on the left side. This one here is a thread on one. The other one's a clamp. This is your high pressure or low pressure. And of course, your wiring clip. So, real quick, I'm going to take all that stuff off. I'll show you what's next. Alright, so first, you want to make sure you spray the crap out of it. Make sure you get everything all nice and loosened up. I use some PB Blast here myself. Also, when it comes to these screws, I suggest not using a gun because you could strip the heads. No reason to end up having to buy more stuff if you don't need to, right? Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, disconnect your positive cable to the battery. You don't want it to have any power. If you don't want to do that and you find it easier, you can always just go into the fuse box and pull out the fuel pump fuse. Now for this one, it's actually not here in the motor area, the motor bay. It would actually be in the car itself, underneath the seat. Check out my route. So, I mean, if you find that easier for you, go right ahead. I find it easier just to disconnect the battery. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is pull out this clip. It's real easy. Press on this right here. Pulls right out. No biggie. Now over here, you're going to want to get yourself 19mm and a 14mm. Now, you put your 14 on, small side, 19 big side, and then you're just going to break them loose. I normally grab the two separately, pull them together. It's the easiest way to do it. I could probably do it with one hand, but we're not going to try it. We're just going to actually take it off real quick, and then I'll show you guys the next steps. So, pulled out our plug, broken it loose. So now we can pretty much just do it by hand at this point. Might get a little bit of fuel. Yep, just a little bit, not too much. But we're not really too worried about it. Alright, so we've pulled out our plug and I cracked this loose. So at this point we're just going to do it by hand. This high pressure line you can actually push back. We might get a little bit of fuel, I don't know. Let's see. Now we're good. So next is going to be the pinch clamp on the low pressure line right here. And then we're going to be taking out our bolts that come out all around. 6 total, and I do believe they're 8mm. So let's get to it. So just a quick little tip here. All this shit you got around it, you don't exactly want that there when you open this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray the crap out of it with some brake lean, also called brake clean. And then we won't have any debris that'll be able to fall into our tank, which is a good thing. Alright, so now that our work area is clean and we've disconnected this clamp, and it goes on to the low pressure line. We're going to push that off real quick. Redisconnect this since we only just barely put it on there. Push that back. So, okay. Everything is disconnected now. All we got to do is pull off our bolts. Alright, now that we have all of our bolts taken out, bad boy will just slip right out. Make sure to be easy with her. The floater is definitely going to end up having a floater filter. It's going to have some fuel still left in it, as you can tell. I have a pretty full tank. Thank God we didn't have to pull the tank out from the bottom. Alright, so we're going to bring it out, put it in the garage, and I'll show you how to pull this pump off and switch everything over. So now that we got this thing in the garage, this little fancy dancy thing right here is your fuel pump. This actually right here is the actual pump itself. This is the whole module, and this is what we're going to be changing today. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is pull out this screw right here. Let's see if we can actually get this to work. I can pull this thing out. There we go. Wish I had a cameraman. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah, probably would. Maybe I'll invest in one. Okay. So now you slowly pull this piece off. Your new pump should come with the new bottom rubber. Now, in order to pull this off, you have to pull off this little clip here. No, what? This one right here, sorry. That right there. Little round clip, you got to pull that off. Unfortunately, you cannot reuse it after you pull it off, so we are going to have to get ourselves another one. Hopefully yours comes with a kit. I'm going to check mine and make sure. Alright, so to make life a little bit easier, if you pull off the hose itself from the base, you have the whole thing, except pull off the plug. Now, the plug's pretty easy. Press down, pull out, press in on this little clip here, and then separate. But I need two hands, so I'll be back. Once you pull that out, it is separated. Makes it a little easier. You might still have a little bit of fuel in there. If you do, just empty it out into a drain pan. Make sure you dispose of your fluids properly. And we are going to take off next the sack. Alright, so as you can see, I got it raised up. I'm using a pick. And what you can do, if I can get this right, is put your pick or a flathead in between and pop it right off. And that pulls off the clip for it. Then this bad boy should just pop out. I don't know why it's not going to be that easy, because it is pressed into here. Not really pressed, but it's suctioned in. So there it is. Goes right over the top, and it is suctioned on because obviously fuel reasons. Let's get a look on the inside. Let's see. It's a clip or hose down inside into the pump. So now we are going to be replacing this with our brandy new one. So here we go. Got our new one on. New sack's on there. This clip is actually really easy. If you hold it down on one side with your thumb, and on the other side you just press down with the flathead. Presses right on. Got a new hose. So now we are going to put her together. See you in a second. Alright, so here we go. We have our fuel pump all reattached. I suggest definitely replacing the hose up here. If you can, the plug. My plugs definitely came different, so I could not do it. I do not know why. But as you can see, I do have a CarQuest here. Hopefully I can get some sponsorships. That would be cool. Alright. Some ads, definitely pretty cool. But, so yeah, we're all together. Alright, put our bottom boot back on. Tight in our screw. Everything is lined up. If your hose ends up being too long, just cut it back. It's no big deal. Use a razor blade, cut it right off, measure it up to the next one, the old one, and bang. So we are going to go put her back in. As you can see, slide it back in. Make sure that you get that nice and wet when you're doing this. Pull back everything you need to do. Alright, well that didn't really take long. So yeah, you just want to make sure that it lines up right. There is a gasket under this lid. Please replace it. It's the best thing to do for it. You want to make sure you have a good seal here because it is a closed system. But now we're going to start plugging everything back in. I'll see you in again. Okay, so there are no specs on how tight these bolts have to be, well, nuts technically have to be, in order to seal this down properly. So I just did it snug. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I don't want to end up breaking anything. So next what we're going to do is we're going to plug it back in, and before we even close it up, we're going to check it and make sure that we are running properly. Okay, so before we can actually test it, we got to make sure our battery's back on, and let's give her a try. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, there we go, you can see it. Yeah, we have life again. Light a little high, but she's also cold. Let's see what happens. Let us sit and wait for a little while. Problem was she kept shutting off, so we're gonna end up seeing if she's gonna shut off again.